He was close. He was very close, and he was there a lot of the times. But just recently, from what I've seen with Unknown, it's been very difficult for him to really quantify, get those top 5 standings, really be there and be the king that we once knew that he was. Still, though, right now, playing this advantage, taking out big names like Matzo, box to box, 30 people now left alive in this zone. Could be 20, slightly pixelated from my view, but still, Unknown is thooming through this whole lobby and has 2 different mythic items loots in his inventory. This is just really good from Unknown overall. 18 people, 8 zone, though. That's scary. This is a game that a lot of these guys might not be used to. I feel like a game that Unknown actually thrives in when it's stacked box to box.
Oh my!
153 big damage, a reset edit. He didn't get a lot of those mass crash pads though, are there. He did get some of that wood though, so now all the way back up to 3/200. He's looking to make more boxes, possibly take the minis. Actually gets invaded into his own box. Switches layers, switches lanes. Very good for Unknown Army right here. But gets beamed down from up top. It was wooden builds. They're not the most defensive. Still, a stacker lobby. He survives till the end.
Nicely played, and he's almost, I think he's gonna have a strong showing here. Be interesting to see if he decides to try it out in Heat 2 again. Now we're on board with the player with 281 points. We're gonna take a look here. It is our boy, Sevid. I always have to take a look on that top right corner. I was just so used to seeing his pretty face right there on left with the webcam. So this was someone that we saw that was around 230 points, now has 282 points. So he has been revving it up, and he's just around the projection screen, about 350 plus points or so projected wise. So he still has a lot of work to do, but he definitely has picking up the pace here, Shyo.
Yeah, he's not guaranteed just yet, and it might seem like Unknown, save it. A lot of these guys we're watching on stream are playing so well. 100% they qualify. I'm looking so forward to watching them in the semifinals. You're wrong, because there's so many people who are also at the same time rising up, not streaming in the shadows. There are thousands of people playing in Europe, especially too. You know how packed this region gets. So you might be thinking that Save It and Unknown are doing well. This might be, so easy to predict and watch. Why are we on this POV? There are stakes. This is not over. Even with this pop-off, 297 points. He needs about 20, 30 more, maybe even to 350, as Sancho says, as we projected as well, to really solidify his spot here. So anything could happen with Save It. This competition today is not over yet.
Yeah, and when you're not safe at all, you still got to keep the pedal to the metal, and you just got to keep pushing forward, because at every game, that 750th player as well could gain more points, so the threshold could go higher and higher. And I think Saban knows that in the back of his mind. That's why he turned on the serious mode. Now only down to the top 6 in this situation, and he has a very strong kit to eat up some storm if he has to. The only thing he's needing is some hard mats. We did see Unknown just a bit ago was able to get beamed through his mats, and no doubt height sees all these wooden builds being built out, so he has to be careful here. The high beams could be a big factor, as he is going to have to keep pushing to his left. He does get a quick hit right there and catches someone right in there and picks up that big 5-point elimination and gets some brick out of that. So it was a big time refresh there, Shyo.
That was a very good stop with that wall. A lot of people would say piece control. That was just, it was just nice. A good thing to put down. After that, moves up and past it. He's looking to just wrap out this game. Top 3, he's really just whittled down the lobby and survived. On his wall though, it is wood too, so it's gonna go down a lot, but nice edit. A good jab there, a dagger strike really, and that's wind getting taken out. Huge player to kind of remove from this end game, a clutcher. So now it'll be Save It versus his final man. He lands a big 64 shot, taking a lot of zone damage, and he drops down. Possible fall, can only really take one more tick. This player on his last build-up, personal. So
underneath him, when that wooden box, he's going to try to hold this low ground. He's going to have to rely on that right-hand peek with the charged shotgun, looking for that prediction shot. And there it is, gets that big-time hit that he needs. Right now, the top 3 is X-Flash, Kiko, and Chap sitting at the top 3. And Frisk right there, unable to get into that top 3 in that lobby, and gets sent right out. And we're getting the action continues here at the DreamHack Open. We're going to jump to another POV. I think this is Ermoon, who competed in the NA East. Ermoon back on his side of the world, I believe, sitting really nice at 320 points here, Shyo.
Yeah, he's looking really good in terms of pacing as to where he wants to be, and he's still getting eliminations.
Whoa.
Who is this player? What are you doing? Where did you come from? How is that even possible? Is what it is. Ermoos is gonna go right out. I always say, when we watch him, we get the most interesting things that we can see in DreamHack, but it's always a very consistent perspective from mid to end game. It'll always be good Fortnite gameplay you see from Ermoon. But right now he's almost out of mats, but he's still looking pretty spry in this box.
Yup, looking good. Got the peps as well, but Hey man, hey Shaw, man, sometimes you fall into like a wrong tarp, you know? Sometimes it happens, man. It happens. But Ermoon here finished 80th in the FNCS Invitationals for EU. So someone that's been around the scene. Now he's doing some like edit course flexing right there, trying to get through this box and break through. And oh my goodness, gets returned back with a shot. As soon as I give you the accolades there, chat, he gets sent right out back to the lobby. But GG's no re. Now here we go. 258 points.
He's looking good. Has the front zone. There are some people ahead of him though on low. That's a threat. But we see what David does from these positions. He stays quiet. Doesn't really like to dive into boxes just yet, especially with these mats. Some other players might be different. He's on his home ping too. He's on Europe. One of the top players to follow, one of the fan favorites. So we'll see exactly how he ends up taking out this game. Actually jumping straight next to zone, but misclicking on that space bar again. It looks like it's planned though, so I'll roll with it. Let's roll with that. It's planned. He's now on height. It looks good. One less crash pad, but he's in a situation to get beams. Absolutely planned. Let's go, David. Nice arc.
I think that was definitely 100% planned. You talked about fan favorites. Right now, Coop being a new fan favorite, currently the only player in top 15 without a win. So he's doing it through consistency. And I think he's playing that placement game that's doing so well for him on that ping, considering that he's on a different ping. But back on board with David right now, we're going to stick with his story as he's making his way, using his last crash pad, as he was able to get to front side of zone in that other 2-play crash pad. But now it's all up to his skill, and he's still got to use the mobility. And oh, nice third party right there, picking up a nice elimination. And to see what he gets. Yes, he does get rewarded with more mobility right there and some opportunities if he wants to go ahead and swap out that mini. But I think he's going to go ahead with the crash pad. Yes, 4 crash pads in his inventory, but he has a player in front of his box right now trying to compete, and he disengaged. That's what you're talking about right there. Not much of a box fighter here, Shyo. Likes to play the placement and likes to play the double bounce, it looks like. Man, this guy's like bouncing out all over the place, and wow, it's just working out for him, Shyo. Mongrel is always the name that people say that is their favorite, and when the chat, we always ask chat who's gonna win. One of the names is always Mongrel. Of course, other fan favorites like Benji Fishy and Savage we have yet to see today, but we're on board back with Vortexia, which we did start the day off with almost. Vortexia is having a nice run here with 386 points. QA Coop is sitting at 5th place with 441 points. So the three-peat is still alive, Shyo.
This might be Coop's era right now that we're living in. Literally just watching a great mold himself and become a legend. At the same time, we're getting our first tune-in to, at least for me, Benji Fishy's name in this tournament. I don't think he's streaming right now, but he is playing in this heat, and he is taken out in one of these high point lobbies. Right now we're watching Vortexia, as we mentioned, and he's at 376 points. Benji has to be close by. I can only imagine that he's 100% qualified, or at least near that top 750 mark. At the same time, though, a lot of people are still striving to qualify. One of the numbers we did get tossed out to us is 390 needed to be able to qual in. So maybe Vortexia is not in there just yet. We'll see exactly what goes down as he breaks things down straight from height, falling down multiple layers, 1,000 mats, but playing like he's shambles. With that mindset, he gets in these boxes fast, leaving that player in the dust to the storm. What a flashy elimination. It's not a complete 360, but just knowing how good you were on position and how messed up that player was on his, leaving him behind with the perfect amount of HP to get eliminated by Storm. That's really cool.
Really cool to see, but now he has to figure out the shockwave. He did get bounced a little bit, but he does have the floppers and the mobility to get back into the fight. As we're getting into a top 3 situation right now, he has mid control. There's someone on the low, and of course someone on high, and he was able to pick up the siphon right there. He gets an elimination. Now it's a 1v1. Here we go. It's a 1v1 and on the cusp of qualified, and he gets it.
He's trying his best right now. Can literally be the top players that he's fighting against. 24 people left alive, as I believe this 8th zone is starting to close in. 15 seconds till we see who survives until the final filter. There's a big shot drop down. That player gets taken out instantaneously by 7 Tor. Match there for him to gain. Many players around him. The world is his oyster. He just has to crack it open and make sure he gets this dub.
Man, put some hot sauce on that oyster and slurp it down, baby. That's what he's gonna do. But Coop is still slurping all the way down below, snaking and trying to place as well. So Coop, man, appearing here, representing the NA East boys, doing as well, being part of that American invasion as so many EU players did the same thing. But the story right now is Seventor. Seventor has the kit to get this dub, and right now just raining fire down below in the entire lobby. It picks up another elimination, bringing a grand total of 7 elims, 35 points from eliminations, and now he's going to work his way through to see if he could capitalize on this and close out with the 500 points going into semis. And we saw the top 10. The top 10 was around this, so Seventor could be vaulting up the leaderboard right now.
He's bolting straight up. It's 352 points. I would say around maybe even 360 to qualify after all these games are done. Seventor still looking down at 480 records going on right now. He's battling for that first place spot. 9 shockwaves down to 8 as he uses 1 more chuck splashes though, making sure this player he's about to fight is going to stay healthy. 4 people left alive, might be 2 different isolated 1v1s. Time for Seventor to pump up the gas. Here we go, all the way up top, blocks off 1 build with a ramp of his own, and then a floor on top of it, creating his own new lair. But past that though, is working around these 2 different lairs, trying to find this player. Where is he? Did he drop down? Is he going for a late height play? That is the big question. Is it floppers in check? Yes, it is in Storm. Seventor sees it, tries to go for the shot. It's not actually going to be too much of a connection, but does rattle him enough to drop him up to low ground. A shockwave near that hits nothing though. Seventor is now there for the 3-way battle, up on low. No more really mats available. No, he has actually quite a lot to just stay in tune and try to hold things down to the shockwave. Does send this player way in Storm. He gets the tags. How much damage does he get in return? I'm not sure, but it's a final 1v1 now for him and another player right below.
Right below, 1v1, shockwave launcher go down. It sends him out to the Storm, and that's a wrap.
But it is 750 players that are going to be moving forward into the semifinals, chat. But up on top, it's none other than Wolfies with 557 points. And then we have Mongrel, one of the most respected players, and definitely reason to be a little concerned and respectful of him in 533 points. We got Kiku in 3rd. And then look at that, Coop